Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. We are about to go full tilt into peony season here at Dandelion Cottage. I've got a lot of gardens filled with peonies because I like to grow them to bring bouquets to the farmer's market, which is also going to be starting right up. So I'm going to continue painting them. I started painting some peonies last week, and you can see that now these are the single ones like what I painted last week. Maybe you can see this one down here a little bit. And now these are a little bit different. We're starting to get a few more petals on here, and as the weeks go by, I will have more and more varieties. I'm going to continue in my watercolor sketchbook, and if you've been following along, I showed you how to make a watercolor sketchbook, and for the past several months with the Watercolor Card Club, we've been preparing for gardening season, which is here now. And so I'm really excited. I know everybody else is, and I can see that there's a lot of folks online who have been starting to paint their sketches, their watercolor sketches. So I'm going to go back to that. So here's a peony painting that I did the other day, and here is another one. Now I think what I want to do is to add a little echo down in this corner. So I've got this nice image up here, and then I've got another little echo down here, and still leave plenty of room on the page to write. Now over in the handy pocket here, I've got a couple of brushes. So I've got these are sable brushes. I've got a number 4 and a number 7. And I also have my watercolors, and I'm just using a limited palette today, so it's yellow, red, and blue. That's all you need. And if you are following along with the ink refillers, the water-based liquid inks, you would do just the same thing as I'm going to do today. So let me zoom you in a little tiny bit so that you can see what I'm doing. And I think what I'm going to do is, because it's a little close here, I'm just going to put a paper towel over this side. Oh! And it looks like Sophia's been doing some paper crafting. Very nice texture. So I'm just going to cover up this page and put my watercolors here. Okay, so we can fit on the camera. So this is the area down in this corner, and this isn't going to be too big a image, just maybe, I'd say about 4 by 4. And I'm going to paint it directly. I'm not going to do a sketch this time. I'm going to show you how I begin painting just with my brushes. But first, I want to check my settings, make sure that you can hear me. Oh. All right. Let's see what we've got here. That looks good. Okay. Oh, and there's a bunch of people. Hi, everybody. Good morning, Emma. Oh, Emma, the gardens are beautiful. I hope that someday you'll come and visit. Ginger. Oh, my goodness, Ginger. I'm so much better. Ginger knew that I got my booster shot last, I don't know what day it was, but it knocked me for a loop. I was down for the count for at least 2.5 days. I am so much better. It just really makes you wonder how people survive getting sick like that, because that's rough. Okay, and there's Della. Hi, Della. And there's Beverly. I am so much better. Thank you very much, Beverly. We had a really fun Memorial Day weekend. Did anybody else celebrate Memorial Day and remember our fallen service people? We celebrated by watering the runners that go past the house. There is a 5-mile race every Memorial Day, and it is to benefit the volunteer fire department, and it's wonderful. And it just so happens that my house, Dandelion Cottage, is about a mile and a half away from the finish line, and it's right in the middle of a super hot, sunny, I don't know, maybe a half a mile. And by the time the runners get to this point, they are so hot and tired, so they really appreciate us giving them water. So that's what we did, and then we had some friends over, had a really fun barbecue, and yeah, it was a beautiful day and beautiful weather. All right, now in this bouquet, I have a gorgeous flower that is just starting to open. It's really pretty, still very round and kind of cup shaped. And then I've got a big fat bud that is at what they call the marshmallow stage, which is a great time to cut them, because that's when you have the best vase life. And then I've got these beautiful leaves, and I'll probably put a little bit of those on the pages as well. So all I've done here is I've created an extremely dilute mix, and I can just use my brush, and that's even too dark. Now I know at first it's going to look very pale to you, but as I continue working, you'll be able to see it better and better. But I'm just going to sort of indicate that gorgeous bud, and I can use the shape of my brush to sort of imitate the shape of the leaves. So very quickly I can start to get a little leaf design happening. And then there's another little one on this side, and this is where my larger flower is. So that's going to look something like that. And I think what I'll do is I will take some of these background leaves to just sort of indicate the shape of that side of the flower, like so. The subject for this session in the Watercolor Card Club is peonies. So if you are like many of us and you love peonies, and especially if you're somebody who has some peonies in your garden, you are definitely going to want to sign up for the Watercolor Card Club starting this session, because not only will you have access to some previous videos that will help you get started if you're a beginner, because this is all about getting ready for this garden season. I want you to have a lot of success going out and painting. So if you're just starting out with either the inks or the watercolor, now is the time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And so it's a monthly subscription. You'll get a card kit that will be able to be used to make 4 watercolor note cards, and the video, access to our Facebook group where you can post your paintings and see what everybody else is doing and ask questions and get critiques. And our live Zoom, which is a lot of fun. I think that's the best part. I don't know. There's probably some people out here who are members of the Watercolor Card Club. What do you think? Is the Zoom your favorite part? It is for me. I love talking with you all and seeing what you're doing and seeing your paintings. It's a lot of fun. And this year I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to take my camera with me outside and share some plein air painting with you. So I'm not quite sure what the setup's going to be like, but up in the back I've got a picnic table and I have a shade cloth that I can set up over the top of the picnic table so I won't be blinded by the sun. And I think we'll be able to do something, and who knows, maybe we'll have some chickens join us every now and again. So that's the plan anyway. All right, now these peonies, the color is this beautiful warm pink, almost like a salmon pink, but pale. And so I'm adding a little bit of warm yellow to my red to give me a beautiful soft tone. And then there's a couple of places here and there, not many, where you get a little kind of a brighter pink blush. So gorgeous. I also have growing in the garden some coral colored peony. They're much later. I hope that they don't often flower as much as the pink and the white peonies, but I've got several of them, so I'm hoping that I'll have something nice to share with you. All right, so there's the beginning. Let me just see if there's any questions. Oh, listen, she says, Danette says she loves the Zoom. Hi, Danette, nice to see you. And Beverly says enjoys the Zoom and all of the Facebook Lives. Thank you so much. You know, you are my hardcore group of followers, and I really appreciate you all. It's been, you know, it's been getting on in time now. Beverly says, I saw your water table. My water table? What do you mean my water table, Beverly? You, my picnic table? I think she means my picnic table. So when I had some friends over on the weekend, we had a beautiful full table loaded with food and beverages and snacks and chips, and oh, we had everything. It was a lot of fun. So I think that might be what she's talking about. All right, so I'm just going to add a few more strokes to start to develop some of these leaves. Got a stem over here, so I can pick that out, and then here we go. Trying to talk and paint at the same time can be a little bit challenging, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute while I just get some of these things established. Oh boy, it is so. Today is such a beautiful day. I was out earlier checking on everything. We here, my town is known as the icebox of Connecticut, so we wait until after Memorial Day before we start putting out our annuals and our potted plants and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be making a trip to the nursery this week to start gathering the all the plants for the hanging baskets and the bedding plants and the shade gardens. The early spring woodland flowers are just looking spectacular. I think what I'll do is I will take my camera for a little video walking around to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, because it is just, this time of year is just so nice, and the birds are singing. I woke up very early this morning listening to the bird song, and it was still pretty dark out, and they were starting. It's so beautiful. The baby chicks are doing fantastically. There's a total of 11 of them. We've got 11 little babies, and Mama Sita is doing an excellent job. She always does. And even though they're teensy tiny, they're already able to jump up and around. They're able to get out of the nesting area now and start to join Mama Sita for a lovely dust bath. They love that. They're starting to find worms and bugs and all sorts of interesting things. So they are off and running now. Right. I picked up my smaller brush, and I should have switched to my bigger brush. So I'm going to put that down and use my bigger brush so I can get a little more color and paint on here more quickly. I'm going to put up my website for you, dandelioncottagedesign.com, where there's a lot more information about the Watercolor Card Club, how you can subscribe, what you get, and all the information with the link to go ahead and register. If you were going to take one class only, I would not miss this one, because I think this is going to be the thing that's going to really help get you off to the best start possible, and also painting the peonies is just wonderful. So check that out. And I'm looking at more closely at these leaves now. I'm picking up some of the veins, the center, some of the shadow areas. I think we need a little something over on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and add a leaf over there. Oh, let me move that. Sorry about that. There you go. All right, so I'm just going to add another cluster of leaves over here. There we go. So you see, in very little time, about 20 minutes, and I've been talking and stopping and doing stuff. So you can see that in no time at all you can have a really nice little sketch from the garden. And Beverly says, would love to see more clips of the baby chicks. Well, you know, I could do that all day long. I'm always afraid that it's going to be too much for some people, but I will be sharing more of the babies. They are too darn cute. And uh-oh, what's happening here? Sound. Oh, Ginger says, no, it's okay. You know, I didn't know if you could hear that or not. There is a hum, Ginger. I think the neighbors across the road are having the landscapers with their machinery doing some mowing, and that may be what you're hearing. I'm going to go shut the door and see if that helps. It's really loud. Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Does that help? I had the front door opened, and I can hear the equipment, so hopefully that's a little bit better. All right, well, let me know about that. I did remember to turn the ceiling fan off today, which I don't always remember to do, so at least that noise isn't interfering. All right, so now I'm just going to put some details. So I'm getting some of my yellow with a little bit of red to get a kind of a dark yellow, yellowy orange, and I'm just going to put some texture on the inside of my blossom here, where I can peek down inside and see all those gorgeous stamens. There we go. And there are a couple of places where it does look pretty dark, so I'll add a couple of accents like so, and I can begin to sketch some of these petals a little bit more and show where they overlap a bit. There we go. I'm going to increase my pink now, and I'm going to keep it warm with a little bit of yellow. When I share the videos in the Watercolor Card Club, you will also be able to see all the color mixtures, but in these very short little Facebook Lives, it's too much to do all at once. The Watercolor Card Club videos are typically anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes long. So there's a much more detail. I share my color mixtures, and I talk a lot more about concepts and technique and all the other things that go into developing your pictures. All right, and then I think we'll put a couple of nice dark green accents in here. And I'm going to call this one just about done. Now, if you have any questions, please type them into the comments. I'm going to check in just a couple of minutes to see if there's something I can help you with. Now, for those of you who may not know, I've changed my hours slightly for the summer. So the new summer hours are going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you might want to make a note of that. If you like, follow, and subscribe, you should be able to get some advance notices about when I'm about to go live. And instead of 12 noon, it's now 1 p.m. Okay, so slightly different time and different days. The Watercolor Wednesday will remain watercolor painting and painting with ink. And Thursday is going to be a paper crafting Thursday. And because I was unable to bring you the video last week, I wasn't able to share with you the scrap busting journal flip through, which I know everybody was excited about. So tomorrow, right here at 1 p.m., we're going to have the scrap busting journal flip through. And I'm also going to be showing you a really cute set of stamps and dies. So if you're interested in paper crafting, or if you are a journal maker or a scrapbooker, you're going to enjoy tomorrow's episode. So save the date. Tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m., and that is Thursday. All right, well, I think I'm going to stop here now. It's just meant to be a little sketch. I'll put one nice dark accent for that. I'm mixing up a kind of a blue-violet. There's also some other paint from my palette mixed in, and I'm just going to put that in my shadow areas over on this side, and maybe a little echo over here. There we go. Okay, so let's see how the page looks. So let me just move these things out of the way. Let's see, I've got some, it says Beverly, oops, I've lost my place here. Oh, she says, do you realize your portion of the palette visible looks like DSP paper? You know, the watercolor palettes are so great for, you know, looking at abstract designs. There's always something interesting going on, particularly, I mean, oil painting palette as well, but especially on the watercolor palette, because everything's swirling around and doing all sorts of wonderful things. So let me zoom you out a little bit. So there's my spread, and I like that a lot. So I think you can see that that there's still plenty of room for more sketching or writing, and I love this kind of design, sweeping across the spread like that. Okay, and of course, got these peonies. I have to finish the leaves on the daffodils. I'm going to add some leaves going up through there. the pussy willows and the hellebores from the woods. We still have some snow in this picture. There's the early forsythia and the first robin and the snowdrops. So you can see that, you know, it's a lot of fun keeping a nature. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to say it's a lot of fun keeping a nature journal. International Nature Journal Week begins June 1st, and I'm going to be posting a link to the website. You can also Google it, International Nature Journaling. And for 7 days, there's going to be a different prompt. Okay, and you can get all that information off the website. I'm also going to be following along with it as well, and I will post them here after I get off the video today. So stay tuned for that. So you can see, you know, this time of year is just the best time to get outside and start painting. You can paint flowers and landscapes, the birds, the butterflies. I mean, it's really exciting. And I would love to have you join us. If you haven't done anything like this before, this is a great chance to begin with the Watercolor Card Club with some very simple basic steps. You do not need a lot of equipment. You saw what I did today with a couple of brushes and 3 paints. It's not a big investment, and it will provide you with hours and hours and hours of pleasure, of close observation of nature. And you know, these are, for me, these are my most favorite things. It's just being able to be in nature, to paint, to observe, and just see all the magical things that start to happen. It's really fantastic. Okay, and so I'm just going to check the comments real quick, see if I've missed anything. What does that say? Oh my, this is transforming. Well, you take it step by step, Beverly. I'm going to teach you 1, 2, 3 watercoloring, okay? So in just 3 easy steps, how you can begin and tackle your subject. She says she'll miss tomorrow. Well, you can always catch the replay, that's right. And thank you, thank you. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Hopefully you're ready to go out into the garden, do a little bit of painting. If you do, please share what you've painted, either in the Watercolor Card Club page if you're a member, or if not, then share it with the Dandelion Paper Pals. And the Dandelion Paper Pals is a Facebook page that anybody can share their creations on that are inspired by what you see here. All you have to do is make a comment below here, so say hello so I can see your name and I'll recognize it, and then when you ask to be invited into the Dandelion Paper Pals, I'll be happy to let you in. So check out the Watercolor Card Club. There's just another week or 2 for you to be able to catch this episode with the Peonies and how to get started. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Stay well, stay creative, stay happy, and I'll see you next time.